Guys, so I want to continue this podcast. This is part two of the podcast that I did this morning. This is about the governments using crises as an opportunity to increase their government spending, increase their influence on society, and to basically grab more power when there is an issue at hand, especially during pandemics and crises, whether it's medically, whether it is in science, whether it is economically, or whether it's a time of war. Now, the deep state, or the cabal as we can say it, have instigated a lot of wars around the world the last couple of 100 years, and especially during the First and the Second World War, America's industrial complex has made the United States military so big that they have literally become the police of the world. United States can basically dictate to every country around the world what they must do and what they must believe and what they must be ascribed to actually be seen as acceptable. Now, very much similarly, the United Nations are in the same boat as this. Although the United Nations does so behind a lot of so-called good causes, which is similar to what the WHO does. They basically sit behind the scenes and call all the shots, while governments around the world are ascribing to their method for handling pandemics, which has been destructive to say the least. But the way that we have gotten into this issue is because we have fully placed our trust in the government to basically solve all our problems. And that is the exact problem that we are sitting with today. Because most of the things that we can and should be doing ourselves, we have relegated to the government. Now, I see this with the absolute glee that this very incapable ANC government in South Africa has done during the last 26 years. All of a sudden, they just came onto the scene, waking up from their sleep. From the last 26 years, they have run this country into the ground. Now, all of a sudden, they have just jumped onto the scene, and now they are the heroes. Cyril Ramaphosa is hailed as the leader we have been waiting for so long since Nelson Mandela. We've been so conditioned to believe that it is an individual like Jacob Zuma that have caused all the problems in our country. But it is the whole system we have put our trust in altogether that have caused all of the problems. And we shouldn't be surprised, because we have been conditioned to believe this for so long. So when there are times of crisis, we allow the government to have more control so that they can solve our problems. We allow them to spend more, we allow them to expand and create new arms of the government. And just look at, for example, the way that the pandemic has been run in South Africa. We literally gave the government, when they asked for it, we literally gave them a few weeks to prepare the hospitals to handle the surge in all the cases that would have come into the hospitals, so that the hospitals will not be strained. And what have they done? We gave them the pinky and they grabbed the whole arm and they practically drowned us. They literally almost collapsed the entire healthcare system just to revolve and move around COVID. Everything suspended and hung around COVID. In fact, more patients were killed in hospitals because hospitals were not prepared to handle anything else but COVID. So people basically didn't get the treatment that they needed because every single resource and every single doctor and nurse and every facility was put aside for the use of COVID. And what happened? All the facilities that were specially built for COVID were used as homeless shelters. These facilities weren't even occupied. It was all smoke and mirrors. They pulled the wool over our eyes. So what the real thing that they enjoy right now is running on this power trip, because now they have announced that the 2nd of December is the announcement of the coming of the fourth wave of coronavirus. This is not because of our health. This is just a reminder that they're sending us to let us know that they are still calling the shots. This is what it is all about, and that we must just trust them to handle it. We call the shots, but it is a veiled threat that there will still be lockdowns for another year, for as long as they see it fit. This is what it is all about. Now, I do not know what we are going to do about this. All I'm saying is that we need to move away from putting our trust in the government to fix all of our problems. We do not need to give them even an inch or a pinky, because once we do so, they will grab the entire arm. We must learn to say no to these people. We must learn to say no, because once we say yes, they will not only take away our liberties, but they will take away our rights, our freedoms, and everything with it that goes along with our well-being. So friends, just give this a thought. Give this a thought. God has made and created us to rely on Him and Him alone, not on big government. God has called us to worship Him, not big government. That's all I have to say for today. I hope this didn't seem to be too angry, but I just wanted to share this to enlighten you guys a little bit. So God bless you, and I'm so excited to talk to you guys soon in the near future.